Perhaps the most venerated tomb in America is that of George Washington. Washington died on December the 14th, 1799, at 10 o'clock at night. Fearing premature burial, Washington requested of his doctors to be decently buried and to not let my body be put into the vault in less than 3 days after I am dead. In his last will, he expressed the desire to be buried at Mount Vernon. George Washington was entombed in the existing family vault, now known as the Old Vault, on December the 18th, 1799. Visitors wrote that the tomb was a low, obscure, ice-house-looking brick vault. In his last will, George Washington directed the building of a new family burial vault in the following words: "The family vault at Mount Vernon, requiring repairs, and being improperly situated besides, I desire that a new one of brick and upon a larger scale may be built at the foot of what is commonly called the Vineyard Enclosure." In 1831, Washington's body was transferred to the new tomb. A French visitor wrote that Mount Vernon had become like Jerusalem and Mecca, the resort of the travelers of all nations who come within its vicinity. Veterans of the American Revolution connected deeply to Washington through the pilgrimage. Many pilgrims, overwhelmed with emotion, wept. The marble sarcophagus in which the body of General Washington now rests was erected in 1837. The remains of Martha Washington reside in a similar but plainer sarcophagus. On October the 5th, 1860, President James Buchanan accompanied the Prince of Wales, later King Edward VII, on a tour of Mount Vernon and visited Washington's tomb. A British correspondent wrote, "No pious care seems to have ever tended this neglected grave." George Washington's nephew, Bushrod, inherited Mount Vernon from his uncle. The marble obelisks in front of the tomb were erected to the memory of Bushrod Washington and his nephew, John Augustine Washington. On November the 13th, 1919, the future King Edward VIII of Great Britain visited Washington's grave. The prince planted a small English yew tree near the tomb. On March the 18th, 2015, His Royal Highness Prince Charles, the Prince of Wales, and Camilla, Duchess of Cornwall, laid a wreath at the tomb. The tree planted by his great-uncle was pointed out to the prince. Wreath-laying ceremonies have always been important and continue to be held daily by patriotic, civic, and citizens groups. Boy Scouts repeat George Washington's prayer for America. Almighty God, we make our earnest prayer that Thou wilt keep the United States in Thy holy protection, that Thou wilt incline the hearts of the citizens to cultivate a spirit of subordination and obedience to government, and entertain a brotherly affection and love for one another.